Hello, Agirim. This is my feedback to your evidence paragraph from last week. First of all, I know this is your first attempt. You didn't have a model. You tried, so you did a good job of at least identifying some of the key ideas that you need to work on. The main sections are representativeness, relevancy, relevance, and sufficiency. Now, when you say here, the supporting idea that gender balance is never achieved in real life, this is a very general supporting idea, right? So you want to be a little bit more specific. So try to make the supporting idea more focused, more narrow, because when you do that, it will be easier for you to write about the evidence used in support of it. Now, you're talking about the screenshot of the Oracle internship. And I think this is the first document that the speaker uses. Is basically an email. And it's trying to prove the supporting idea. It's not about gender. This was about, he's saying that there is systemic bias in these diversity programs. So I think it's a good idea to try to match the evidence to what it is talking about more precisely, right? To what it is supporting more precisely. So in this case, it is supporting the idea that there is a systemic bias in internship programs. Okay. Now let's move on to the actual discussion. You're saying that it is not sufficient because we cannot see the beginning and end of the document, only part of it. Now, even if you could see the beginning and the end and the whole document, that would not make it sufficient or not sufficient. What would make it sufficient here, we want to ask ourselves the question, is this document enough to prove the supporting idea? Even if you could see the whole document, is it enough? I mean, he's making such a big general idea. He's talking about there is a systemic bias, and he wants to prove that with one single email. Clearly, that's not, obviously not sufficient. So in the section on sufficiency, in that part of your paragraph, you could mention what things the author should have included. You can say he should have included maybe surveys, studies, meta-analysis, more information, more data, a lot more examples, in order for that to prove the point. Okay, so part of writing the sufficiency section is, if you decide that it's not enough, not sufficient, you could say what could he have included. Okay, so that could be part of your commentary. Moreover, it was sent by someone to the speaker. Again, whether it was sent to the speaker or not, that's not so important. We're looking at sufficiency, relevancy, representativeness, regardless of where the source came from. Is it academic? Did it get sent to him, or did he find it himself? That's not so important. Okay. So here, that is not the focus of our analysis in the paragraph. We're just strictly focusing on, is the document or the evidence, which in this case is a document, is it sufficient, relevant, representative? Now he's saying the screenshot is relevant because it has special requirements such as race and gender, and you're right about that. So yes, it is relevant. That's a good comment. It does talk about specifically singling out certain racial groups, So yes, it is relevant. Now, in your last comment, is it representative? You're saying there is only one example with strict requirements. So in other words, this only one example, that would be about sufficiency. It wouldn't be about representativeness, right? So this is a good comment about sufficiency. Now, what do we say about representativeness? One thing you can think about in your discussion of representativeness is to think about whether this is a typical example. Is this email or this internship program that he's talking about, is that a typical example of all internship tech programs across the US? He hasn't proven that. One email cannot possibly prove that it's a typical internship program. There are a lot of internship programs which do not specify which racial group should apply. A lot of internship programs are open to everybody, right? So he gives one example, but it's not just the fact that it's only one. What we're looking at is how typical that example is. Okay, so that's what we're talking about in terms of representativeness. But you have tried here, which is good, and this is what you would need to do in your evidence paragraph. Now today we had a small group tutorial, and I hope that it was a little bit clearer to you what you need to do. You need to first identify the evidence in the identification paragraph, and then write this evidence paragraph, just following the sections as you have followed them here, but you would just need to say a little bit more. Okay, go back to the model. Now that this is your first attempt without the model, go back and see how you can improve this paragraph based on the model and that I sent you earlier on in this week. And next week on Monday, I will send another model of the evidence paragraph that we discussed in the small group tutorial. So you'll have two models. Then we're going to do the mock exam next week. So hopefully that will get you a little bit more practice. But at least you have started to figure out what representative is, what sufficient is, what relevant is. So that's good. So overall, I would say you do not need to focus on who sent it to whom, whether it's the full document he's showing on the screen or whether he cites it orally or not. Just think of it. Is the evidence enough? Is the evidence appropriate? Is the evidence typical? The examples given, are they typical? These would be the questions. Okay, I hope this is helpful to you, Aigerim. Hopefully next week the picture will be even clearer.